So Leute, ich habe mir den Josh geholt, den kennt ihr vielleicht noch nicht, ist aber eine ganz große Nummer. Nicht hier, aber über dem großen Wasser, nämlich in Amerika. Der ist da Chef von einem der größten Kartenhändlerläden, die man da so kennt, ja. George, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Glad to be here. Super exciting.
Okay, what brings you here?
Well, we do have some international players, as you know, Team PPG. We have players all over the world. We do have some players here in attendance. I just wanted to come and see Europe for myself, see how it is, see how the community is, and see to bring players stuff over here. Just wanted to check it out, honestly.
Okay, and now that you got your first impressions, what would you say is the biggest difference between our community in Europe and your community in the USA?
I think everything here is just more strict and organized, not in a bad way. I think everything here is very well organized. All the players are respectful. All of the, they follow by the rules very strictly. There's a lot of coverage. There's a lot more coverage here than there is in America. They're not as lenient with, what goes on and all that stuff. But here, they're really making a great effort. I was talking to one of the commentators here, and he was just going around trying to be on the floor. Even though they're doing streaming in the back, he wanted to be outside with the players and stuff like that. So it's super cool.
Yeah, they're already close to the community as usual. Yeah. What do you miss, in fact, instead of the USA?
Honestly, it would just be familiarity and for example, the currency sometimes is different here. I have to do the math and stuff like that. That's inconvenient. And also, I really don't know what most people are saying sometimes, and because everything is in German. Some people don't actually speak English, so sometimes that's hard. But other than that, I don't miss anything. I really like this place, if not the same, a little bit more than America.
Okay, you as person has, I guess, the best overview over the mocked placement in the USA. Mm-hmm. Do you know much about the placement in Germany?
Not too much. I mean, I have a few friends that are in Europe, like Junk and Lars and stuff that I get most of my information from. But other than that, I don't really have too much of an overview. But from what I know, it's pretty good and it's not too different. But there is some distinct differences that make it very appealing.
Okay, you're as a mocked holder, I could say, what is your opinion about the online market in the TCG? Did it change to the best or to worse?
You're talking about the players
I talk about online markets like Yu-Gi-Oh! Market.com.
The trading card community seems very stable here and more consistent. Over there, you might have more volume, but you might not have as much consistency because you'll maybe get the large turnouts in a certain area of the United States and America. Here, it seems pretty consistent from what I've talked to commentators. I think this is your largest European YCS, this one is, so that's really good. I mean, we've had our largest one like 2-3 years ago, but we haven't really gotten too close to breaking that record. And you guys, it seems like it keeps developing and continuing to get bigger, which seems very healthy for this area, and I think it's still healthy in America, it's just less consistent.
Okay, but you're not alone here? I guess you're with your team members?
Yeah, I'm with my team members.
Who you brought with?
I didn't bring anybody from America. Right now they're training for the big ARG, Ultra Reality Games Invitational, where they play for cash next week in Orlando, so they kind of wanted to work on their decks in peace and not really spoil them at a big event like this with such coverage. So they're going to keep it under wraps until next week, but the players that I do have here right now is Italian player Fabio Minicuzzi, and we also have Austrian player Long Dao. So we have those two players representing us today, as well as other not people that are on the team, but people representing our brand, playing with the play mat, playing with other stuff that I brought for players to give for free, because I know we're not as big in Europe as we are in America. Everybody in America pretty much knows us, but we want to continue appealing to the European market, and we want people to know that we exist and that we support the community, not just the American community, but the European community and all international Yu-Gi-Oh community pretty much.
Okay. If I pro player, what should I do to get a sponsorship by you? Okay. What are your key goals for a player to represent your brand?
Yeah, well, I get this question all the time, as you can imagine. I have hundreds of messages in my message box that I still haven't gotten to about how do I join the team and all that.
And now we finally
find out. Well, there's a lot of things. There's not just one thing. It goes a long way. one thing is being a player reputation. You got to have good standing. You got to be able to conduct yourself in a positive way, positive role model. You know, you're not bad reputation of community, steals, lies, any of that, cheating. We don't tolerate any of those things. We want to maintain the integrity of our players, but at the same time, be able to target the players that come out consistently and stuff like that. Obviously, you have to be a good player when you play events. You don't have to top every single time, but at least if you top most of the time, then it's fine. The main factor is consistency and hunger. You want to be able to get better. You want to be able to open your mind to other ideas. You want to be able to go out of your way and, you know, make sure that you attend YCSs. I know YCSs here aren't as often as the US, so something here would be you go to every single YCS, you know, in Europe. You know, in America, sometimes it's not that easy. But there's regionals, there's YCSs, there's ARGs. Here you have CCG. They have events too, so that's good. You know, we want our players to go to these events. We want them to keep trying. We don't need them to be, you know, Patrick Hoban. You know, you don't have to be Patrick Hoban, but if you want to be like that, you know, and you work towards that, then we see that. And you know, obviously, our team is very, you know, is very strict with how many players we have on it because we already have a lot, but we're always open to it. And we have a new system called Champ Rank now. I don't know if you've heard about it here, Champ Rank. It ranks all the players by premier tops. So it counts ARGs, YCSs, and I think they're doing CCG tops now too. So it ranks all the players. I know a few top European players are on there. Their names are escaping my head right now, but a lot of European players are also ranked on there too. So we want to expand more on Europe and let them, you know, use that because it's a system that my friend developed, and it counts all the tops. It tells you when it happened. It has their profile. It tells you what team they're from. It's a really cool system. It's like the first thing in America to really rank it. I think United Ghostess actually did some type of a ranking like that before, but theirs is not as updated. Ours, we update, you know, all the time. After every premier event, we try to get the tops on there. So if you meet all those qualifications, I mean, I know it's a lot, but anybody is more than welcome to represent our brand. You know, we sell t-shirts, we sell sweaters, we sell playmats, and if you do well, even if you're not on the team, you do get compensated, kind of like how our players, if they win a YCS, they get something from us. If you like top a YCS or win a YCS with our brand, like with our apparel on and stuff, they can still contact us and get reimbursement for that. So it's not like you're part of the team, but you're representing us, and a lot of people do that, you know, for no problem. But we feel like if you go out of the way and buy a t-shirt, buy a shirt, or whatever it is, and you represent us, then I feel like we compensate the players all the time. So
it's pretty cool. The family is the best.
So it's pretty much like you're part of the family, but the team has very strict requirements sometimes. But if you want to be on the team, the first step is just get the shirt, get the apparel, wear it, whether it's a shirt, a sweater, a playmat. You know, you're representing us and showing us that you care and you want to be there. And if you ever do break out, you're already a step ahead instead of just breaking out, wearing somebody else, and then be like, hey, can I join the team? You know, so it's something like that.
You always have to do the first step yourself. Exactly. Because of passion.
Yeah.
Because of
with free shirts, free score pads, free pens, so that
mine
know about us. What shirt? What size are you?
My size is you know circus set.
I do not. You're gonna have to email
X 3,000 years later. X.
Well, this will not be my last time in Europe, so I will definitely get you one next time I'm here.
Ooh. Okay, it's very interesting. I want to know what you before you had in business and how you.
Before this, I was a student like everybody else. I started when I was 10 years old playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I would go to Toys R Us. My mom would take me every weekend, buy me booster packs. I would play in the little leagues. I was very competitive, so I would always want to win those things. I was always a competitive person, so that's what drove me to that. And then I would start attending regionals and YCSs, and I topped a YCS, won a bunch of regionals. And then while I was doing that, I was, of course, studying, you know, middle school, high school. And then I moved on to college. I did decide to keep going to college instead of opening a store. I could have opened after, you know, high school, but I went to college just because I think education is very important. Even though, you know, I didn't need a degree to open a store or anything. I just learned a lot of things, made a lot of connections that I think were very important so that I can start a shop. And then once I knew I was stable enough, we just opened up, and you know, we came out really strong because I was a player, so I knew everybody. I wasn't in it for the money. I was in it to build a community and help out the players that I saw in the community were doing very well. So I started compensating them so that their travel and all that stuff would be cheaper. You know, I know the cards are very expensive, so I let my players borrow cards. The trips are not very cheap. You know, when I go to trips, they stay with me in the hotel. You know, the flights, sometimes I give them discounts. So it all varies. I just wanted to help out the Yu-Gi-Oh community, let them know sometimes the prize support is not enough. You know, you win a YCS, that doesn't mean you're set for life. You know, that gets you for the next YCS maybe, and that's it. But us, we just wanted to keep them in the game longer, be a secondary support, you know, system, and, you know, let them keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh. We don't want to deviate them to another game that may have different prizes like Pokemon and Magic. You know, you want to keep them in Yu-Gi-Oh, and you want to, you know, keep being a positive reinforcement for that. So
okay, in fact, my last question to you, it's very, I would like to cover with you about hours. I guess we find so many things to talk about. The question was, what was the best moment till now?
with my team, the best moment, I want to say we have a lot, honestly, for just having a year in existence. No, I mean, we are blessed. I'm not going to say it. We got very lucky. Eric Christensen won a YCS with Infernoids with, you know, that was, I think that was magical. You know, that in the top three. The other second top three is when Eric won Nationals. Like, after winning a YCS, you get a free trip to Nationals, right? Nationals, you go and you win Domain Monarch. He wins with 3 structure decks. You know, I feel like it was a magic fairy. So, like, how does this happen? And this player, yeah, and this guy wasn't playing you. This guy was just, you know, local player. I beat him. Shout out to Eric. You know, you're still good. But and yeah, he won Nationals. He beat one of the top teams in America in the finals. So that was very magical. That was a dream to me. When it happened, I didn't even know, like, it's real. Like, there's no way that this is happening, you know? Like, my player, not even a year in existence, you know? Like, local player, not even like Patrick Hoban, you know? It's just a random Florida guy. So, and then after that, I want to say my third best moment would say when Eric and Travis qualified to Worlds. I had 2 players out of the 6 that go to Worlds from America. 2 players from Pro Play Games representing the United States of America in Worlds. That was unbelievable, you know. And then for them to compete at Worlds against the best players in the entire world, you know, and they both make top 8. They both made top 8. That was crazy. I couldn't be prouder. And this is all happening in the same, like, 6 months. This is all happening in the same 6 months. So I was just crazy. I was blessed, rushed, like, oh, what's happening? It was so magical for me. And then we had Eric continue after top 8, go all the way to make it to the finals. You know, I was like, no way, he's gonna win a YCS, he's gonna win a Nationals, he's gonna win a Worlds in the same year. You know, that would have been the first person to do it in the world. You know, Gally didn't even get to that. And shout out to Gally, he just did that from United Ghosts. He just finished the legendary triple threat. But so yeah, he was gonna be the first person to do that. And he was against the defending world champion, Shunsuke, from Japan. So it wasn't an easy, you know, match or anything like that. So unfortunately he lost, but it was still, I don't see it as any less of an accomplishment. I think it spoke volumes about how talented of a player and how he comes from his home store, coming from, like, somebody that's also from Florida like me that was a player. And he's just, I feel like I was living my life through him, and it was so magical. And that's why it's so hard for me to pick, because it's 3 huge events, and it's just like, how can you pick?
But that's good for you.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Not everyone got such amazing favorite moments in life like that. Yeah. Okay, I thank you for the interview, but the last words is always on your side. Do you want to say something to your community, or want to greet somebody out there? then now it's your chance.
Yeah, of course. First of all, I want to give a shout out to everyone from Europe. I know you guys don't know me as a regular face. I want to be more of a regular face here, support the players, support the community, continue doing what I'm doing, because I feel like it's very important to, just not focus on America, but focus on all parts of the world. Also, shout out to everyone in America, everyone from Team Pro Play Games. I'm blessed to have you guys. Really glad to have, be considered the best team in the world, have players from all over the world and just have such high accomplishments. I think very highly of them, even though I see them all the time and I treat them like regular people. I think very highly from them. And other than that, shout out to, everyone back home from Pro Play Games, the people that work at my store, everybody that goes to our store. We do have a store. We are an OTS, so we do a little bit more things than just, these teams that are just teams. We're a store also, so you want to, get people into your store and build a community, et cetera, all that stuff. So a shout out to Konami. You guys run a great events, Thank you guys for having us.
Shout outs.
Yeah, and then one last shout out. Our YouTube channel is growing, just like your YouTube channel. I really like what you're doing here. I want to maybe feature this video on our YouTube too, so that you guys can get more people to know about you guys as well. I always believe in working together and making sure everybody gets exposed, especially when they're doing something as special as you are. So I really appreciate putting me on, and thank you guys for having me in your country.
I have to thank you. I wish you a nice day, a nice weekend, and we